Okay, now I'll be starting today's lecture. So today we are going to discuss about transaction processing system. So simply we can call them TPS. Okay, so first I hope you guys can see the slides and hear me. So if you have any issue, please bug me. Just tell me whether you can't hear or whether you can see the presentation, right? So we'll go through the introduction first. Transaction processing systems were among the earliest computerized systems. So we have earlier discussed about these. Brief, we have discussed about transaction processing systems, right? So they are actually among the earliest computerized systems, right? So basically, in these transaction processing systems, the primary purpose is to record, process, validate, and store transactions. So by the name itself, you can understand that these systems are used to for the processing of transactions, right? So basically, they will be recording, processing, validating, and storing the transactions, right? Transactions are events that occur as part of doing business, such as sales, purchases, withdrawals, refunds, and payments. So actually these transactions. Give me a second. So I got disconnected for a moment. So who is Del Pagoda? So you are being assigned as the host for now. Can you please give access for all the participants to share the screen? Okay, thank you. Right. So we were discussing about yeah. So these transactions actually they basically can be considered as events, right? So they occur as a result of doing business activities such as sales, purchases, withdrawals, refunds, and payments. There's a little bit of connection issue today. So now the host is Kavindi, right? So Kavindi, can you please give the access to share? I mean, access for sharing for everyone, everybody. Kavindi, you there? Then she has left. Okay, then Saumya. Okay, right. Thank you. So I'll change the setting first of all so that all the participants can share the screen. Right. So now we'll discuss about the types of transaction available, right? So basically these transactions can be internal or external. So let's see what are these internal transactions, okay? So basically by the name itself you can understand these transactions which are internal to the company and are related with the internal working of an organization. So whatever the transactions that happens inside the organization, right, are known as internal transactions. So for an example, a department ordering office supplies from the purchasing department. So one of the departments in an organization, if it orders office supplies from the purchasing department, so this transaction happens within the organization. So those sort of transactions are known as internal transactions. Then the other type is external transactions. Those transactions which are external to the organization and are related with the external sources. So if a particular transaction has a link with the external with an external party, then it's known as external transaction. So for an example, a customer placing an order for a product. So basically the customer is, I'm extremely sorry, so today's my connection is not that stable. So I'm just right. So a customer placing an order for a product. So customer is an external party. So that means that's, those sort of transactions are known as external transactions. Now we'll discuss about the characteristics of transaction processing systems. A transaction processing system records internal and external transactions for a company. So basically, transaction processing systems are there to record either internal or external transactions in an organization or company. It's a repository of data that is frequently accessed by other systems. So basically, this is actually a repository of data. So it's a collection of data which will be frequently accessed by other systems. Okay. A transaction processing system performs routine repetitive tasks. So basically these transaction processing systems, they perform routine or repetitive tasks because again and again the same task should be done, right, in a particular routine. So these are actually mostly used by lower level managers to make operational decisions. So we have discussed that in previous lecture. So these transaction processing systems are used by lower level managers to make operational decisions, operational level decisions. Transactions can be recorded in batch mode or online. So there are two ways. Sorry again, once again, um, problem occurred. Yeah. So when we are recording transactions, there are two methods can be done. One is the batch mode, two modes actually. One is the batch mode and the other one is the online mode. So in batch mode, what happens is the files will be updated periodically. So that means from one period to another, maybe weekly, daily, monthly, likewise. So they are done in a periodic manner. In online mode, so each transaction will be recorded as it occurs. When a particular transaction occurs at any time, at the same time, that particular transaction will be recorded in this online mode. Then we'll discuss about features of transaction processing systems. A TPS supports different tasks by imposing a set of rules and guidelines that specify how to record, process, and store a given transaction. Actually, these transaction processing systems, right? So they do have a particular set of rules and guidelines. Through them, through these guidelines, actually, they specify how to do the recording, processing, and storing of a particular transaction. So all these guidelines related to recording, processing, and storing of transactions are mm, identified by a transaction processing system. a TPS is the data lifeline for a company. Yeah. So why we call it data lifeline? Because actually a transaction processing system contains all the resources, all the sources. Today's lecture will be disturbed by this connection issue. I'm extremely sorry for that. Yeah. So we were discussing about features of transaction processing system. So they do contain the set of rules or guidelines that to specify how to record, process, and store a given transaction. And we call a transaction processing system can be considered as a as the data lifeline of a company. Why? Because it contains it's the source of data which can be used for other information systems such as DSS. So what is DSS? It is decision support systems, right? So the data that resides in a transaction processing system can be used in other information systems. If the TPS shuts down, the consequences can be serious for the organization. So if the TPS is no more there, then there will be issues for in a particular organization. TPS is also the main link between the organization and external entities such as customers, suppliers, distributors, and regulatory agencies. Yeah. So it can be considered as the main link between the organization and external entities because all the transactions are recorded in this transaction processing system. So that means the link between the organization and the external parties can be referred through this transaction processing system. One more feature of transaction processing systems, TPS exists for various functional areas in an organization such as finance, accounting, manufacturing, and production. So if you consider this TPS, they are there for various functional areas in an organization, not only for finance, but for accounting, manufacturing, production. For everything, these transaction processing systems are available. So basically, if you consider the process of a transaction processing system, there are 7 steps, right? First one is data entry, data capture, data validation, processing and revalidation, storage, output generation, and query support. So we'll be discussing each of these steps. The issue occurs again and again in a periodic manner. So there are 7 steps in transaction process systems. So we'll be discussing one by one in the next few slides. The first one is data entry. Right? To be processed, transaction data must first be entered into the system. So data entry means basically feeding data into the system. Right? Documents generated at the point where a transaction occurs are called source documents and become input data for the system. Yeah. So when a particular transaction occurs, right, there will be some documents that are generated. So those documents that are generated are known as source documents. So at this data entry level, what happens is, so these source documents are the ones that are fed to the transaction processing system. The use of automated methods of data entry is known as source data automation. So actually we need to input source data into the system. So if we are going to use automated methods to feed the source data, then it's known as source data automation. Methods for data entry. So there are several methods that can be used for the data entry task. Keyboard, touch display terminals, voice input. So these are several methods that can be used for entering data into the transaction processing system. Then the second step is data capture. We could capture transaction data as close as possible to the source that generates the data. Yeah. So basically we need to capture, right, the transaction data as close as possible to the source that generates the data. So there are some particular source that generates the data, right? So we need to capture the transaction data that is more closer to the source that is generating the data. So that is done under this data capturing stage, right? Ensures accurate data speeds transactions and provides up to the minute data to managers. So basically, we need to ensure the accurate data is collected and speeds transactions and provides, the system is capable of providing updated data to managers. Capture data by using machine readable media instead of preparing written source documents. So basically, if you want to capture data, mostly machine readable media is used instead of preparing written source documents such as credit card. So, you know, when you feed the credit card to the machine, it's capable of capturing all the related data or the required data. So there are some other ways to capture the data. Some examples are optical scanners like barcodes, QR codes. So nowadays also you have seen, especially this under this pandemic situation, when you visit a particular shop. So in majority of shops you have the QR code, right? So by using your mobile phone, actually you can enter your data with the QR code. Likewise, you can use barcodes also, right? And then some other wireless capturing facilities are also the RFID tags, right? So RFID tags, actually they are basically used in these mm, clothes, and also in many of majority of organizations, the employees are given these RFID tags in order to mark their presence, right? And some other examples are contactless credit card. So you know, you don't need to actually insert the credit card to the machine. Instead, you can just uh, make take it closer to the particular machine so that it can capture data, right? So these are basically wireless capturing because they don't need to have a particular connection with the machine, right? Then you have the sensors also. Through the sensors also, data capturing can be done. Then the next step is data validation. So whatever data you collected, you have to capture, you have to validate those data. There are two steps in validation. One is error detection and next one is error correction. So error. Okay, again I'm sharing the screen. Yeah. So there are two steps in validation. One is error detection and error correction. So detecting errors is basically error detection, and whatever the errors that are that have already happened, correcting those errors are known as error correction, right? So there are some commonly used error detection procedures. Examples are checking the data for appropriate text, numbers, etc., checking for anomalies, checking for missing, invalid, and inconsistent data. Yeah, so basically, error detection is there to detect errors, no? Right? So you can check this data for appropriate text. Whether so, for an example, if you are checking for mobile numbers, if you have captured mobile numbers, so then you can check, validate those data whether there are 10 digits, right? Likewise, and then checking for anomalies. So what are anomalies? So anomalies are actually that is not normal. That is basically when you if you compare a particular data from the expected if you compare a data that you retrieve from an mm, expected type of data, so if there's a difference, then those are anomalies. So basically when anything, if anything deviates from the expected level, right? So that's basically known as an anomaly, right? So for data also there can be anomalies. So those anomalies also can be checked, right? Then you can check for missing, invalid, and inconsistent data as waste. So basically these are the commonly used error detection procedures. Okay. Once the accuracy and reliability of the data are validated, the next step is to processing and revalidation, right? Once the accuracy and reliability of the data are validated, the data are ready for processing. So once you validate the data, then you can process the data. There are two ways to process the transactions, online and batch mode. So earlier also we discussed this online mode and batch mode, right? Online transaction processing, also known as OLTP, is the almost instantaneous processing of data. So why? Because so by the name itself you can understand online transaction processing means by the time the transaction occurs, the data will be captured and stored in the transaction processing system, right? Used in the transaction processing system. The term online means that the input device is directly linked to the TPS. And once again, I'm extremely sorry for the inconvenience. So here we have used the term online, means that the input device is directly linked to the TPS, right? So that whenever a transaction occurs, the data can be entered into the system, right? So examples are ATM transactions, flight reservation. So you know these things, by the time you do the transaction, right, the details will be updated, right? Flight reservation, for an example, ATM transaction, when you withdraw cash, right, at the same time you will be getting an SMS, right? Likewise, so these are actually online transaction processing examples for OLTPs. Then the other one is batch processing, in which transactions are accumulated over time and processed at once. So the transactions will be accumulated or kept aside and will be processed all together, right? Maybe, so these are done in a periodic manner, maybe weekly, daily, monthly, right? Or maybe any other time period as well. Example, a company may process the travel expenses of its employees on a monthly basis. Yeah. So mostly in these organizations, if they want to process travel expenses of the employees, they won't do it as the transaction occurs, right? So every day they have to do if they do it in an online transaction processing way, right? So then each time the transaction occurs, they have to update it. Rather, what they are going to do is they will be processing all the travel expenses of all the employees in a monthly basis. More efficient use of computer resources. Yeah. So through this, actually, computer resources will be efficiently utilized, right? Because they are scheduled to be done in a periodic manner, right? So every day the same thing. We don't need to do the same thing every day. Then the next step is data storage. Processed data must be carefully and properly stored for future use. So once you process the data, this processed data must be carefully and properly stored for future use. Data storage is a critical consideration for many organizations because the value and usefulness of data diminish if data are not properly stored. Yeah. So if an organization is not capable of storing this data in an appropriate manner, then the value and the usefulness of data will be reduced, right? Because there's no purpose of just processing the data. So if you can't keep them in a secured platform, in an easy to access platform, if you can't store the data, then there's no purpose. So just getting the data to the system and just processing. The kind of processing and the type of storage medium are to some extent related issues. Yeah. So actually the kind of processing that you are going to use and the storage medium that you are going to use, actually they do have some sort of a relationship with each other, right? So for an example, OLTP, online transaction processing, requires faster mediums because the moment the transaction occurs, actually data will be processed. So when the data is processed, then they should be stored at that particular time, right? So that means they need some faster mediums, right? Then the next step is output generation. Right? The output can be communicated to decision makers in two ways. So once data is processed, you have the output. You will be storing. Anyway, you have to communicate this output to decision makers. So this communication can be done in two ways. One is documents and reports. So maybe invoices, paychecks, sales receipts, likewise. So those are some examples for documents and reports. And then another way is using forms, screens or panels, right? Dashboards, maybe summaries, right? Through them, these outputs can be communicated to decision makers. Then the last step is query support. The last step in processing a transaction is querying, asking questions of the system. So querying means basically asking questions about the system, right? Query facilities allow users to process data and information that may otherwise not be readily available. Yeah, so these through the queries, right? So through the query facilities, they allow these users to process data and information that may otherwise not be readily available. So whatever the data that is not readily available, right? So through the query facilities, they allow these users to process data and information which are not readily available. Example, a sales manager may query the system, find the number of damaged items in a given store. So query means questions the system. So basically asking a question, right? So then the system know these are also valuable information. Likewise, it learns to collect those sort of outputs also from the stored, from the entered data. Responses are displayed in a variety of pre-specified formats or screens. Yeah. So basically, when the responses for these queries will be displayed, right, in a variety of pre-specified formats or screens. That means answering, how they answer. Right. So there's a small activity for you guys. Can you please jot down the answer for this? And so I will create maybe an assignment in the Moodle like I did earlier, so that you can submit the answer. Right? So the deadline, yeah, I'll provide a suitable deadline. So you need to explain the following steps for a transaction processed by an ATM machine: data entry, data capture, data validation, output generation in terms of an ATM machine. So this is a small task. So I'll give you time maybe until yeah, now it's 1:40, maybe until 2:50. I'm extremely sorry for today's session because it was kind of disturbed due to this network issue, connection issue. Actually, I'm not at home, so so maybe the connection is actually unstable. So because of that, the lecture was disturbed. So anyway, this is recorded. So please excuse for today's lecture. By the way, I hope after this session we can continue with the next few group project evaluation. So because I'm already done with like half of the groups, so the rest can be evaluated today, right? So initially I'll give you time to upload the answers to the Moodle for this question, and then we'll have the project evaluations, right? Anyway, the lecture is scheduled from 1 to 3 now, so you are anyway free. So we can have the project evaluations until 3, okay? Before that, please submit these answers. So whoever who has problems with the internet connection, and also you can ask them to, so if they have issues, then they can't even access the Moodle now at this moment. So please ask them to contact me, right? So that I can give them a chance. Anyway, from this, I'll be collecting like, already I have given you like 3 or 4 quizzes, right? From them, I'll be picking up like n-1 number of assignments, so that people who has to face these difficulties, I mean difficulties in terms of connection issues and all, they have a chance, right? Okay, so shall we start project evaluation now? So I guess this KAMO group, they have not presented yet.
Hello everyone. Today we discuss with you all about how to use a useful information system effectively for business and how it applies to the finance sector we have chosen. And then we talk about what kind of business scenario can we adopt above application, and finally talk about the advantages and benefits of using this software. Now I discuss with you all about what is management information system. It is a management information system is an information system used for decision and to coordinate, control, analyze, and visualize and organization information. The study of management information system involves individuals, process, and technology in an organization. In the business, management information system are the tools used to support process, operation, intelligence, and IT sector. Uh, why we need to management information system to gather data from multiple online system, analyze the information, reports data, aid and management decision making. Um, we can say the example like that: finance sector, HR sector, manufacturing and inventory sector, point of sale system, electronic meeting system, like that. And now we talk about accounting information system. Over to you, Malsha.
Uh, as described Adesha, there are different kind of management information systems. Among them, we choose accounting information system. Accounting information system is a structure that a business uses to collect, store, manage, process, and report its financial data. Based on different characteristics, we can divide accounting information system into subcategories. Based on version, we can divide accounting information system into two, that is on-premises packages and cloud-based packages. On-premises packages are the packages that is installed and run on computers on premises of the organization. And the cloud-based packages are the packages available to many users over the internet. And also we can categorize accounting information system based on preparation, that are customized packages, common packages, and combination of customized and common packages. And when it goes to business scenario, let's think there is a small business. There are less number of customers in there and also less number of profit. When it develops day by day, the number of customers are increasing. Not only the customers, but also the money we receive are increasing. Bills coming in, invoices to be sent, and expenses to be paid. So if it is complex to do accounting manually or using spreadsheet. So they identify the need of accounting software. There are different kind of accounting softwares like SAP, Sage 50, and ERP. Among them, we choose QuickBook to describe the process of accounting information system. QuickBook is an accounting information system. Its target market is small and medium-sized business. As users, we have to input day-to-day transaction and the policies of our organization into the system, and it automatically creates financial statements and output it to its end users. And there are two versions available. One is on-premises and other one is cloud-based version. Now we can move on to the features of the QuickBook. I would like to invite Oshadi to continue the presentation.
Thank you, Malsha. I am explain the features of QuickBooks. There are four main features. If they are company snapshot, inventory tracking, online banking and reconciliations, and account payables. Other features are remote payroll assistance, employee time tracking options, and marketing options through Google. I am describe of main four features. First one is company snapshot. That feature displays key financial information about business in a convenient dashboard like window, giving you the ability to quickly access how their company is doing financially with just a glance. Next one is inventory tracking. The inventory tracking feature is relatively basic and is not a priority when it comes to development. It is also only available on certain QuickBooks pricing plans. Third one is online banking and reconciliations. That features useful central location for managing day-to-day banking transactions downloaded from bank and credit card accounts. Last main feature is account payables. This is used so we can track the money company vendors. That is main features of QuickBooks software. Next slide, please, Marsha. Marsha.
Uh,
What happened? Hello, Marsha, is there any problem? Anyone from group KMO? Is there any issue?
Madam, she has connection problem. I can share screen in phone.
Okay, no problem. You may share. You can share your screen with the phone, no issue.
This slide shows the QuickBook track every rupee coming and going out, so you can keep an eye on the bottom line. That means 70% of businesses use this. Those are profitable businesses. This is value of QuickBooks. Next slide. That slide shows the real world examples for QuickBooks. There are two types, that are international companies and Sri Lankan companies. First one is international companies. QuickBooks Online is available in many countries around the world. Companies using QuickBooks Online for enterprise resource planning include the Pillsbury Company in United States-based professional services organization with 9,400 employees and revenues of $6.78 billion. Second one is Mullen Group in Canada-based transportation organization with 5,515 employees and revenue of $1.4 billion. That is international companies examples. Now I talk about Sri Lankan companies. First one, QB Lanka. QB Lanka is authorized reseller for QuickBooks products and training in Sri Lanka. QB Lanka company clients are Blooming Fashions, FM Derana, CBL, DSI, Vocational Training Authority, and many companies have used this QuickBooks software. Second one is Asis Soft Solution Private Limited. That company's other authorized reseller of QuickBooks is Sri Lanka with more than 20 years. Next slide. How to apply this system to a business? This is shown in 7 steps. First step is register for QuickBooks. Second one is customize the company preferences and the account setting. Next step is import business data to QuickBooks. Fourth one is QuickBooks with company bank account. Fifth one is in company owner business credit cards. Sixth one is customize invoices with company banking. And last step is import company contacts to QuickBooks. Okay, I invite Kaushika for explain benefits in QuickBooks.
Thank you, Oshadi. Benefits of using accounting information system. First one is speed. The main benefits of accounting information system is the speed of processing tasks. Data is enhanced. One can then be used and result in compiling report by literally pressing a button. If a transaction needs a correction, it is easily done with report generate afterward, and speed never possible with manual accounting system. Second one, classification. When data is entered in an accounting system, manual or computerized, an accountant need to classify is in a detailed fashion. For example, a transaction could be a sales revenue or an interest revenue. Using information system, this classification process is easily accomplished with the drop-down menu from which you choose the proper category. You can also quick generate report involving classification. With the manual system, this process take much more time. Third one, safety. One data is entered in a computer, it is safe. The chance of losing data and remote, especially when you perform regular system backup. In manual system, paperback can be lost or damaged more easily. Fourth one, efficiently. Computer-sized financial information system are faster and more efficient in processing data. The use of hardware such as scanner automatically generate accounting information without must do. The information is available almost immediately. Fifth one, cost effectiveness. Accounting information system make the maintain of the block financial department irrelevant. The software does most of the work that would otherwise require several employees. The accounting software can journal and prepare documents such as the trial balance. Journals and ledgers are recorded in the computer database. So others reduce the time spent on manual process,
Okay.
less error and increase
So
accuracy, save money and resources.
how many more slides are there?
So end our present.
That's it.
No, madam.
That's all, no?
Oh, yes. Ma'am.
That's all.
Okay, right. So you have chosen QuickBooks, no? When compared with the other accounting management systems. So any particular reason to pick QuickBook, Kaushika? Can you hear me?
Yes, madam.
Kaushika, why you chose QuickBook over the other accounting management systems? Can you hear me? If you can't hear me, I'll just put a message in the chat.
Madam,
Yes.
we have no specific reason for choose it. That can use any kind of small or medium size organization.
Okay. Okay, right. Then the next group, please.
Madam, can we go next?
Yeah, no issue. What's your group name?
WD40.
Okay. Yeah, you may continue.
Wait. Can you give us a second? We need to. Ma'am, need a couple seconds.
Sorry.
Madam, sorry. One of our team members is out of reach. We contact him and we'll start our presentation next. Sorry. Can we do it after the next one?
Okay.
Is
No
it okay?
problem. Yeah.
Thank
So
you.
another group, please. It is like MIS. One of the groups couldn't complete it last day. Is it MIS? Group MIS? Okay. Yeah. So AS, you guys can do today. AS group, are you guys here? No? Then SRN is there? Nobody's talking, no.
Uh,
Yes.
Madam, we are SRM group.
Hmm.
Last time we did.
You did. You couldn't finish it properly, no?
Yes, madam. Yes, madam.
So can you do it again today?
Okay, madam, sure, but give me some time to call other group members.
Okay.
we can go next if you're okay with it,
Yeah,
madam.
sure. Your group name, please.
WD40.
WD40.
Yes. Pasan, can you share the slides?
There's no such group. No.
I think ours was the one before the last
White.
in the list.
White, right?
We changed this team name. Yeah, okay, team white. Okay,
Oh, okay.
very nice. It's fine. Okay, so I'll start the presentation.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. I'm Senit from Team White, and my team members are Pasan, Tiranjay, and Dinoshan. The management information system we chose was a POS system. A POS or point of sale is the time and place where a retail transaction takes place. At the most basic level, the amount due for a customer is calculated and an invoice is prepared, followed by receiving payments and returning the balance to the customer. Traditionally, this entire process was done on paper, from writing the line items on a paper and the individual prices, adding them all to find the subtotal, deducting any discounts, and calculating a grand total. All of this was done manually by hand. The invoice itself would be a handwritten document. Though this is still the case for many small businesses in rural areas, these methods are not feasible for modern age retailers, with people lining up in long queues to do their purchases. So implementing an electronic POS system where printing invoices and computing balances digitally is a faster way to process transactions, and businesses might think it's a POS system's only real value addition or capability, but modern day POS systems have the capability to do so much more and have the potential to eliminate more tedious manual labor. So in this presentation, we will explore the many applications of a POS system and how it can help manage a business effectively. For the purpose of this presentation, we selected a restaurant to demonstrate examples of applications. So I'll hand over the presentation to Pasan to continue. Over to you, Pasan. So these are on the screen. You can see the features of a POS system. Pasan will talk about it.
Thank you, sir. So there are so many features that we can add to this POS system of a restaurant, and some of them are we can do add, update, and delete items in the restaurant from the system, and we can manage stocks and inventory, and automation of reordering, generation of invoices, and generating so much of useful reports such as monthly and annual sales reports. So let's discuss these features one by one. And our first feature is add, update, and delete items from the system. So when it comes to restaurant, there are so many items to be sold under different categories like short eats, beverages, different dishes, desserts, and etc. So therefore, a POS system will enable the user to track the sale of these items through the system and make decisions regarding the purchase or the production of such items. So the business can easily review the system to have an idea user can easily update it through by logging to the system. And if they decide to stop selling a particular food item or a dish which has very low sales level, then they can completely remove that from the system easily. So then we move to the inventory management. So through a POS system, we can view the inventory levels of a business. So the system can be customized to send a message to the system user, alerting low stock levels, or even send a purchase request to a supplier when current stocks deplete to a preset or reorder level. So proper inventory management is crucial for the profitability of any business, as having a shortage of inventory can lose their sales or delay sales, which cause damage to the brand image of the restaurant or in case of any business. So a business can also help identify the best sellers of the restaurant and decide on the reorder level accordingly, or decide to discontinue or promote food products that perform poorly. Uh, so now I invite Dinotion to continue the presentation. Dinotion of Satarasingh.
Thank you, Pasan. Generation of invoices. When a customer comes to the restaurant to purchase or have some food, at the end, the system will print a bill for the customer. And at the same time, it will generate an invoice number for the bill. So if there is any problem with the bill or any complaint about the food that was solved, then the management can easily refer the bill through the invoice number that was generated and look into the problem. Then it will be easy for both the management and the client, and it will save their time as well. Now, Senith will explain about other topic.
Yeah, sorry. Next, it is Tiranje.
Yeah. Another one is generating invoices. When a customer come to the restaurant to purchase, have want some food, and the system will print the bill of the customer, and at the same time, it will generate an invoice number for the bill. So if there is any problem with the bills or any there are so many transactions happening within a restaurant during a day. In order to make day-to-day decisions as well as to create should have a good idea about the restaurant. For this, we can easily generate the reports that are needed, like monthly sales report, annual sales report, to support the decision-making process. And also, the management can have good idea about how the inventory is changing and the sales of particular product from time to time. Over to you, sir.
So we spoke of general features most POS systems might have. So, but in reality, when such systems are being installed in a business, it is always made specific to the needs of the business. So the possibilities of applications of a POS system are only limited by imagination and innovation. So portable POS terminals. So now I'd like to speak about modern trends in POS systems, news like features that POS systems are having. So there we have the introduction of portable POS terminals, and they're becoming very popular. They are replacing bulky computers that you'd see in supermarkets at the in the queues. They're being replaced by portable ones like POS systems on iPads or tablets. And so POS systems have seen many innovations over the years. And now imagine, so also there's technology to POS systems. So for example, imagine this scenario. A customer walks into a restaurant and the waiter walks up to the customer's table. He takes his order and enters it on the tablet that he uses. So in this POS system, a set of monitors or displays are integrated into the system, and it's been positioned in the kitchen where the chef can see. So when the waiter types in the order, the chef will see it and he'll start preparing the order right away. So there's no loss in communication. It's easier for the chef. You don't need to scream out the order to the kitchen. The communication is made easy. So the chef prepares the meal and the food is served. Now ordering now in times where contactless of serving food is important, because with COVID and all, we need to minimize contact and maintain social distance. So in countries like US, they've integrated messaging apps to POS systems so that the customer can walk into a restaurant and text his order, and it will be captured by the system and it'll be prepared and served. So these are some of the modern innovations in POS systems. So I hope you guys understood what POS system are and how important it is to a business, especially nowadays. And that's it for our presentation. Thank you for listening.
Okay, thank you for your presentation. So what's the name of the POS system you chose?
We didn't select a specific brand or company. We spoke of all POS systems in general. Like POS systems, they like mostly the software itself is highly customized to the needs of the business. So the POS system software that runs in Cargills might not be the same software that runs in kiosks. So it's really custom made, and the companies that exist usually tend to deal with hardware components. They sell hardware components that POS system needs. Yeah.
Okay, so thank you. Right. The next group, please. There's a chance for one more group.
Ma'am, can we present our version?
Yes, sure. What's your group number? Group name?
We are Team Orange. We are the last group.
Right. No issue. You may present.
Can you give me the access to share the screen?
Ola, give.
Good afternoon. We are from Orange Apparels, and we were introduced a new end-to-end control system called Moon Tower Company. Simply, Moon is a perpetual inventory control system which we are built to manage our company stocks effectively. The Moon inventory control system is developed under the supervision of CodeGen Software Solutions. Before introducing Moon, we followed the activity-based costing method. ABC is a very time-consuming inventory control system. Our company warehouses are located in multiple locations. For that reason, it is difficult for us to manage our company stocks under ABC method. If we use ABC method, then we have to sacrifice lot of time for that. Because of that reason, we decided to move to a modern inventory control system. Then I would like to invite Pamidija to continue the presentation.
Thank you, Tirana. Now I'm going to explain about Moon inventory control system in detail here. Like Tirana said, Moon inventory control system is a perpetual inventory control system. Perpetual inventory control systems are one of the main different types of inventory control systems available today. When we consider about its technical aspects, it continually updates inventory records and accounts for additions and subtraction when inventory items are received sold from stock, moved from one location to another, from inventory and scrap. Our business prefer Moon inventory system because it delivers up-to-date inventory information and better handle minimal physical inventory counts. Not only that, but also it is preferred for inventory tracking by our business because it delivers accurate result on a continual basis when managed properly. Moon control system works in conjunction with the database of inventory quantities and bin location and updated in real time by warehouse workers using barcode scanners and RFID scanners. Let's move to the features. The system we developed offer all the features that are essential for effective inventory control, inventory management operations. These features are available in our inventory management system. There are inventory optimization, stock notifications, multi-location management, stock scanning, stock return handling, purchase order records, demand forecasting, barcode scanning, RFID based in transit tracking, report generation. Maintain just the right amount of inventory for each product without over or understocking. Any item is crucial for our business. So under inventory optimization, we were able to do it. Next one is stock notification. Our control system gives alerts and notification when there is over or understocking beyond a defined threshold. Over 10 warehouses owned by Orange Apparel. So coordinate these location is very difficult, but we were able to integrate and manage all location within the single inventory management system by using Moon inventory control system. Then we were able to manage returns more effectively by reducing time to return through automation of the entire process, that is stock returning handling. Then we can generate information regarding purchase order records. Then we can easily identify which products are in demand, both perpetual and seasonally, and prepare to meet our customers' needs using our control system. Through demand forecasting feature, we can draw on past data to identify future demands. The above are the features of our system. In addition to that, there are two subsystems are using within the business for inventory control. So I would like to hand over the presentation to Hari to discuss this further.
Thank you, Pramudita. Like Pramudita said before, there are many special features in this system. And this new system that we use includes two subsystems. They are that we have a barcode system and an RFID, a radio frequency identification system. Having these two subsystems makes our tasks more easier because these two systems makes it easier for us to record the data and track our shipments and inventories and our deliveries, so that we can make sure that it makes sure that our orders are received on time. And buying these two subsystems separately from the market can be quite costly, but by using this new system, this new inventory system, we have both. This new system includes both this RFID and barcode scanning system, which makes it more beneficial and it makes more cost effective for our business. I would like to introduce, I would like to hand over my presentation to Bashita for further more details about our system.
Thank you, Harit. Next slide, please, Harit. By shifting our inventory management system to the new Moon inventory management system, we gain some valuable benefits. So these are the benefits that we gain by using it. First one is simplified inventory management. This is the biggest benefit of using Moon inventory management system. It makes the process of managing our inventory a whole lot easier, saving our time. Second one is reduce risk of overselling. When we are selling our products online, we face a problem of overselling our products, but by synchronizing our products and inventory across each of our online marketplaces and e-commerce platforms, ensuring that stock levels are adjusted each time we make a sale. Third one is improved business negotiation. By using Moon inventory management system, we will be able to obtain a far better understanding of which suppliers are benefiting our business the most and which require improvements. The ability to make more profitable business decisions is the next one. Moon inventory management system can provide invaluable sales of data, allowing for more data-driven business decisions. As an example, with a more informed understanding of supply and demand, we can go some way to forecast sales trends. With access to reporting features and inventory metrics, our Moon inventory management system equips us with the tools needed to make strategic decisions. Avoidance of stockouts and excess stock. A little stock can lead to a stock out. Having excess stock can take up valuable warehouse space and incur unnecessary changes. Either way, it comes at a cost to our business. Fortunately, with our Moon inventory management system, we can track low stock levels and identify the reorder points of each product, in turn avoiding the occurrence of stockouts. Even though we have advantages like that, we also have some disadvantages, such as higher cost. This system cannot control manually, so we need to install the software first. That software is very expensive. Training on equipment, false reliability. It means that recorded inventory may not reflect actual inventory. And the last one is increasing monitoring. So these are the features, benefits, and disadvantages that we face by using our Moon inventory management system. And this is the end of our presentation, madam. Thank you.
Okay. So have you done a comparison with the other available systems? Bashita?
Pardon me, what's the question? Ma'am?
Yes. Have you done a thorough analysis with the other existing similar systems? What you have chosen?
We did a little study about the other systems, and actually this is a hypothetical system that we are introducing, imagined one actually. So we include the specifics in other systems into our system, because since it's a hypothetical situation.
Okay, right. Okay, thank you for your participation. So we'll wind up today's lecture. So others, I'll let you guys know. I'll let you know a particular time to do your presentations. Okay, thanks.